The evening unfolded in a manner that was simultaneously elegant and foreboding. The dining table, set with precision and adorned with glistening silverware and fine china, bore the marks of a meticulous host planning an unforgettable affair. Soft candlelight danced across lustrous crystal glasses, reflecting a quiet confidence in every carefully placed setting. The ambient murmur of subdued conversations and laughter in the background belied the undercurrent of tension that seeped into the night. Each carefully selected detail of the room, from the antique portraits lining the walls to the rich tapestry of the tablecloth, contributed to an atmosphere that was at once welcoming and steeped in subtle menace. As the golden hour surrendered to the deep hues of twilight, the guests began to assemble, their footsteps echoing softly in the marbled foyer. Their attire whispered of refined tastes and hidden stories, each individual embodying the intricate duality of civilization and mystery. The subtle clinking of cutlery as they took their seats served as a gentle reminder that appearances, though impeccable, could mask unforeseen turmoil. Alongside the delicate interplay of refined dishware and elegant silverware, the tasting wine, deep red and almost reflective of secrets too dark to speak, lent an aura of forewarning. In the overlapping layers of social decorum and stealthy apprehension, the night took on an almost palpable tension. Every flicker of candlelight, every whispered courtesy, and every seemingly innocuous gesture contributed to a slow-burning revelation that there was more at stake than simple conviviality. It was as if the air itself, heavy with the delicate scent of aged roses and subtle spices, murmured the promise of an imminent, unspeakable twist. Each detail in the room, every artifact and carefully arranged flower, was an unnamed harbinger of fate. The stage had been meticulously set for a narrative far more intricate than an ordinary dinner party. In this setting, a truth hung palpable in the space between each precise movement, as though time had conspired to weave an electrifying and dangerous tapestry. An undercurrent of secrets, wrapped in a veneer of genteel hospitality, hinted at the hidden cost of the evening's charm. A mysterious presence was silently orchestrating the progression of events, each measured moment layering complexity upon what seemed like a simple gathering. With every heart beating in tandem with the measured rhyme of ticking clocks, the observers felt that beneath every polite smile lay an undisclosed chapter of suspense, waiting for its dramatic unveiling. The scene was set, the instruments of fate arranged by an unseen hand, priming the evening for revelations that would soon challenge every guest's understanding of the familiar world. The guests, diverse yet all connected by the solemnity of the evening, mingled with a quiet grace that belied the simmering uncertainty. Intricate portraits of every participant's past and present shimmered beneath the layered ambiance. A subtle embellishment in one guest's eyes or a fleeting gesture could betray a lifetime of secrets and choices made under duress. The dining room, which moments earlier exuded pristine elegance, now resonated with an unspoken language of wary observation. As the attendees took their seats, the atmosphere was punctuated by an underlying rhythm, as if every moment was measured not only by the tick of the clock but by the weight of unspoken histories. In the soft murmurs of introductions and tentative smiles, an aura of mystery crept into the space. One could sense that every guest carried their own private narrative, intertwining with that of the host in ways that were neither overt nor easily decipherable. The conversation, gentle and composed, was interspersed with moments where time seemed to slow, highlighting the potential for revelation hidden in the most quotidian of exchanges. Details in posture, the fleeting glance, or even the way fingers drummed lightly on the table's edge were all meticulously catalogued by those in the room. It was in these subtle behaviors that the seeds of suspicion were planted. At the center of the gathering, the host maintained an outward countenance of warmth, yet his eyes held a sharp glint that suggested he was more than a mere orchestrator of the evening's delights. His presence commanded attention even in silence, and the arrangement of his surroundings seemed to hint at a deeper narrative. Each course that was served carried with it an additional layer of the evening's intrigue, as if even the culinary creations were imbued with clues to a far more sinister reality. In hushed tones and careful glances, the guests collectively probed the depths of their own uncertainties, aware that no detail was too insignificant to be of consequence. As the meal commenced with the initial course, every movement and minute exchange of glances was laced with meaning. The brilliant play of wines complementing the first dish mirrored the complexity of the situation, each swirl in the glass suggesting the unwrapping of layers that might expose peril. The subtle aroma of the food mingled with that of foreboding, rendering the ambiance a cocktail of sensory revelations and hidden narratives. In that charged moment of reflection and cautious anticipation, the dinner transformed into an intricate dance where every step, every pause, was steeped in the possibility of uncovering a hidden truth. Amidst the steady cadence of culinary courses and the subtle interplay of emotions, the room bristled with an ineffable energy that transcended ordinary gathering. Each passing moment carried the weight of potential discovery, as if the very air whispered hints of hidden truths. The careful choreography of looks and gestures built an undercurrent that promised both revelation and peril. Every heartbeat seemed to echo the suspense of impending fate. With the courses now in full swing, the dinner evolved into a performance where each act unfolded with deliberate precision. The savory aromas of freshly prepared dishes mingled with the lingering whispers of the past, casting a spell that rendered even the most casual glance pregnant with significance. The setting, bathed in the glow of ambient lighting and the soft murmur of conversation, became a stage upon which the strangest of dramas could be enacted without a single word spoken. Every plate carried not only food but an intricate tapestry of symbolism and forewarning, hinting at depths yet uncharted. In the midst of the evolving feast, subtle cues began to surface that, while readily overlooked by the untrained eye, spoke volumes to those with a predilection for mysteries. A misplaced ornament on the mantel, a faint scrawl in a seemingly innocuous invitation card, and the deliberate placement of a particular flower on a side table hinted at a narrative that was rewriting itself with every tick of the clock. The mingling aromas, the shifting shadows, and the quiet resignation in the eyes of one particular guest all coalesced into a mystery that was as much about trust as it was about survival. Every course reinforced the idea that even within the confines of impeccable decorum, danger lurked in the folds of the familiar. As the evening deepened, every guest found themselves entangled in a web of silent communication and unspoken revelations. The rich red wine, swirled meticulously in crystal glasses, served as a mirror reflecting the myriad secrets of the night. It was as though the very essence of the liquid echoed the emotions simmering beneath the surface, a volatile blend of passion and peril waiting to erupt. The ambiance was steadily suffused with a complexity that made each breath a delicate negotiation between vigilance and indulgence. With every passing moment, the fine line between civility and the raw instinct for survival grew increasingly blurred, leaving an indelible mark on those present. The narrative of the dinner was further enriched by the strategic placement of personal artifacts that each guest unwittingly contributed towards the unfolding story. Photographs, tokens of memory, and enigmatic souvenirs each served as visual punctuation in a true crime narrative coming to life. The interplay between memory and the present was palpable, as the flickering candlelight threw erratic patterns upon these objects, making them appear as cryptic clues in a surreal puzzle. Every carefully constructed element of the decor seemed to conspire to convey a message, urging the astute observer to look beyond the veil of everyday propriety. The very architecture of the room, with its shadowed alcoves and reflective surfaces, echoed the duality of beauty and peril inherent in the scene. In the midst of this intricate tableau, the progression of the dinner unfolded like the chapters of a well-worn novel, each course a page, each morsel a finely printed word in an evolving narrative. An almost imperceptible shift in the air, a shared glance that lingered too long, and the subtlest interplay of light and shadow all served as silent testaments to the hidden drama that pervaded the space. The night was no longer merely about savoring the rich flavors of culinary artistry but had metamorphosed into a complex interrogation of truth, trust, and the dark recesses of human nature. With every deliberate movement, the evening began to unveil its darker secrets, beckoning those present to confront the looming threat that hid behind every courteous smile and measured gesture. Every element of the night conspired to etch an indelible, unforgettable memory of suspense and hidden danger indeed. As the dinner journey approached its climax, an imperceptible shift in the air betrayed the careful facade of symmetry and calm. The atmosphere, once imbued with the promise of culinary delight, now hummed with an undercurrent of unrest. Shadows lengthened and merged with the quiet murmur of disquieted thoughts. The precise order of courses was slowly interrupted by an anomaly, a single, cryptic detail that transformed benign chatter into a silent chorus of alarm. Every movement, refined yet hurried, hinted at the emergence of a hidden threat that lay dormant beneath layers of perceived normality. Within this charged environment, the narrative of the evening began to unravel with the precision of a master storyteller. A misplaced fork, glinting unexpectedly under the low-hanging lights, served as the catalyst for a chain of realizations among the observers. The slight tremor in a guest's hand as they reached for an untouched dish, the almost imperceptible shiver that colored the face of another, all pointed towards a truth that was both horrifying and inevitable. In that moment, the dinner became less about the pleasure of a well-prepared meal and more about deciphering the puzzle stitched into every aspect of its design. The deliberate orchestration of culinary artistry and psychological suspense merged to create a setting where danger and allure danced in tandem. A sense of urgency began to pervade the space, as if the very clock had accelerated its pace to warn of impending doom. The refined table setting, once merely an emblem of sophistication, now transformed into a stage for a deadly game, with every meticulously placed item acting as a clue. The tension was compounded by layers of subtleties, a fleeting glance, an overlong pause, that coalesced into an intimidating premonition. The room itself seemed to breathe a rhythm of quiet panic, each shadow whispering tales of betrayal and concealed motives. As the final courses made their appearance, the true complexity of the evening's design became evident. The unfolding drama, laced with artful intricacies and shrouded in deceptive elegance, invited those in attendance to confront their deepest fears. Every thoughtful detail, from the ambiguous positioning of utensils to the carefully modulated lighting, contributed to a crescendo of silent alarm. In the interplay between light and darkness, the truth hung suspended, waiting to be unraveled in a dramatic twist that could never be undone. Every detail in that final act resonated with significance, as if the carefully arranged tableau was designed to force an inevitable reckoning. The glimmer of moonlight through the windows offered fleeting moments of clarity, exposing the layers of deception masked by formal courtesy. Subtle cues, once buried beneath the veneer of acceptability, now burst forth with startling clarity. Observers became increasingly alert, their internal compasses realigning in the presence of palpable danger. The synthesis of style, substance, and secret intentions transformed the dinner into both a celebration and a harbinger of doom. A final, lingering silence settled over the guests, underlining the irreversible turn toward revelation and consequence with profound, ominous weight. In the hushed aftermath that followed the whirlwind of revelations, the atmosphere settled into a surreal stillness that belied the tempest of emotions raging beneath the surface. The curtains of illusion had finally been drawn aside to reveal a stark reality, one in which the boundaries between friend and foe, truth and deception, were irrevocably blurred. The guests, each now acutely aware of the underlying menace, moved with a newfound circumspection, their steps measured and their eyes reflecting the painful weight of unspoken understanding. What had begun as an ordinary dinner had transmuted into a tapestry of intertwined destinies, where every moment carried the dual burden of exquisite pleasure and looming peril. In this final act, the enduring whispers of the past merged seamlessly with the present, weaving a narrative that was as intoxicating as it was terrifying. The spilled wine on the polished table, a silent testament to the chaos of revelation, now seemed a metaphor for the irreversible mingling of lives marked by both sophistication and shadow. The visitor, whose silent presence had been a constant undercurrent throughout the evening, now emerged as the pivotal figure whose hidden agenda catalyzed the cascade of events. The subtle interplay of light and dark, of expectation and disillusion, now painted an indelible picture of paranoia and resolve. As the final notes of the evening echoed in the subdued conversation of the departing guests, a profound shift took place in the collective psyche of all in attendance. The earlier levity that had characterized the gathering was replaced by an austere reflection of human frailty and the inevitable encounter with mortality. Every carefully orchestrated detail, from the meticulously placed cutlery to the precisely angled reflections in the glass, had served as both a warning and an invitation to confront the inherent dangers that lurk beneath the veneer of civility. In this silent, reflective hour, the dinner's transformation into a high-stakes game of cat and mouse was fully realized. Ultimately, the night left an indelible mark on each soul present, a lingering imprint of dread and wonder that would not soon fade. The interplay of calculated deception and unintentional truths created an experience that straddled the line between art and dark reality. In the quiet aftermath, the echo of a single, piercing revelation continued to reverberate, a reminder that in the delicate dance between appearance and reality, nothing is ever as it seems. Retreating into the depths of introspection, every guest found within themselves a spark of defiant courage amid the prevailing darkness. The evening, saturated with both beauty and horror, compelled an unyielding confrontation with life's stark realities. In that charged silence, memories and revelations intertwined, crafting a mosaic of fear, admiration, and the relentless pursuit of truth. The remarkable journey of the night served as a testament to the fragile boundaries of human existence, urging all to cherish clarity in the face of overwhelming ambiguity. Each quiet moment resonated with the promise of a new dawn. Hope shone, defiant and unyielding, ever.